Good day, beautiful people. Oh look, it's another audit report that Nova Scotia is failing. This time, it's the lack of monitoring universities' use of public funds. And like always, anytime you want to check out any of these auditor reports, just go to their website, and then simply click on Download PDF. The Auditor General's Office looked back in the past 5 years, between 2019 and 2024, which was about $1.9 billion in public funding. This was given to the universities as form of operational grants. That was used for things like salaries, student aid, infrastructure, as well as executive compensation, debt servicing, and other expenses. I also noticed that the grant system they use to allocate where these funds go is 25 years old, slightly dated, which means that some of these funding may be going to inappropriate locations or inappropriate amount, so it desperately needs to be updated. One of the rippling effects from having such a dated model is universities will get vastly different funds per student. Now, on average, the universities received over $10,000 per student. Then we have some universities like the Atlantic School of Theology that got almost $26,000 per student. If you look at the University of St. Anne, they received more than $16,000 per student. Yet when you look at the universities like the Cape Breton University, they only received $2,452 per student. Another major issue they discovered was the funding for the health education. The Department of Advanced Education hasn't assessed either $163.8 million in health education grants or actually achieving the government's priorities. The example they used was the nurse seat expansion. This cost $65 million, and they're unsure if it actually added more nurses to the workforce or not. They also discovered that they found $119 million in healthcare educational grants was still unspent by September of 2024. It had them wondering who's benefiting from the interest of that sitting in a bank account. Further down in the report, they discovered that the universities in this province owe about $370 million in long-term debt. If you break that down, in all 10 universities between 2023 to 2024, they're losing $6,533 per student. Of course, not all universities are built the same, like the St. Francis Xavier University, which has a debt per student of $15,580, or the University of King's College, where it's sitting at $12,167. The Auditor General made 11 recommendations, which basically told these universities that they need to get their shit together and get more organized, get updated models, and better review over their finances, which the Advanced Education Department actually agreed with this audit report. Now, one can hope that this does not give the universities more of an excuse to further increase the cost for the students just to attend there. They already have the highest tuition costs for the past 6 years in all of Canada. These students are already struggling as it is with housing alone because the universities are bringing in more students than they can house, forcing those students to rely on the housing market, which is currently sitting at a 1% vacancy rate. I covered this a while ago, but even before the housing crisis, before inflation went sky high, students who were trying to find a bed or even a room that was near a university were being charged sky high prices because there's no control over the rent, so people were charging full rental costs just for the student to have a place to sleep during the night and spend most of the day either working or going to school. You can imagine how much worse it is right now. This caused many students, when they do find a place, to be unsafe conditions, or even places that don't even have public transit. We even have 9% of the student population who are unhoused because some of them were promised housing and job when they came to Nova Scotia, but there is none. Now, we do have a number of projects that currently have housing being built for both residents and students, but way more needs to be done, especially making them affordable. But that's the audit report for the universities and how it's affecting the students as well. Like always, I'm very curious to know what your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below.